everyone. I would first just like to welcome you to today's ARD meeting, where we'll be discussing the progress of our student Luis Gonzalez. I would like to begin this meeting by introducing ourselves before we move on to discuss our student. My name is Atsiri Gutierrez, and I am the principal here at Flores Elementary.
Hi everyone, my name is Marisa Segovia and I am Luis's education teacher.
Hi, good morning. My name is Nancy Alanis and I'm Luis's special education teacher.
Good morning. My name is Cynthia Barrera and I am the educational diagnostician here at Flores Elementary.
It's very nice to meet with all of you today. My name is Fatima Rodriguez. I'm Luis's mother.
Thank you all for being here today. The purpose of this meeting is to discuss our student Luis and his current academic level in reading, math, and writing, and how we're best to support him moving forward to have him end on grade level in the subjects that were previously mentioned. Let's start with having Ms. Alanis read you your preferences.
So before we begin the actual components of today's meeting, we'd like to go over some procedural safeguards or rights that you have as a parent. Just something to keep in mind as we move along. I did email everyone a copy of the pamphlet I'm about to go over. It is the TEA Notice of Procedural Rights. It looks like this. I'm not sure if you can see this. In case you all want to follow along. There is additional information in this booklet that may be useful for you, Ms. Rodriguez, if you want to go ahead and read through it later on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So first and foremost, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act is also known as IDEA, as amended in 2004, requires schools to provide parents of a child with a disability with a notice containing a full explanation of the procedural safeguards available under IDEA and its implementing regulations. This document, produced by the Texas Education Agency, is intended to meet this notice requirement, and parents of children with disabilities understand their rights under IDEA. Under the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, the term parent means a biological parent, an adoptive parent, a foster parent who meets state requirements, a guardian, an individual acting in the place of a biological or adoptive parent, including a grandparent, step-parent, or other relative with whom the child lives, and an individual who is legally responsible for the child's welfare. The term native language, when used with someone who has limited English proficiency, means the language normally used by that person. When used for people who are deaf or hard of hearing, native language is the mode of communication normally used by the person. The school is required to give you this notice of procedural safeguards only one time a school year, except that the school must give you another copy of the document upon initial referral or your request for evaluation, or upon receipt of the first special education complaint filed with the TEA, upon receipt of the first due process hearing complaint in a school year, when a decision is made to take disciplinary action that constitutes a change of placement, or upon your request. You and the school make decisions about your child's education program through an admission, review, and dismissal, or ARD committee. The ARD committee determines where the child qualifies for the special education and related services. The ARD develops, reviews, and revises your child's individualized education program and determines your child's educational placement. Additional information regarding the role of the ARD meeting and IDA is available from your school and companion document. Do you have any questions, Ms. Rodriguez?
Yes, actually, I just want to ask, as a mom, how I will be able to support Luis in the special ED program.
The best thing that I would recommend you would be able to support him is by making sure he is doing his homework and practicing what he learned in the classroom throughout the day. We just want to make sure that what he learned doesn't get forgotten when he's at home, but gets reviewed. And if you do notice that he is struggling with some specific things, you can let his teacher know. That way she is aware and knows what he needs help with, and that way she can work on something that will help him even more than what she's teaching.
Okay.
Okay, anything else?
No, thank you for answering my question.
You're welcome, no problem.
Okay, so if possible, I would like for you to tell us a little bit about Luis so we may be able to get a little more insight as to what we've seen on our end. How is he at home? Are there any concerns you may have?
Sure. During this time that I've been aware of Luis's academic performance, I have noticed that Luis is able to understand the basics of reading, such as identifying the sound each letter makes. But when I want to see how he reads his fluency, it's very poor. Also, I have to mention that Luis is a child who has more difficulty when it comes to obtaining certain information in certain things. That is why I have considered having Luis being evaluated and based on his results to see if he actually needs to be in the special education program.
Thank you for sharing your observations. Now, let's go ahead and move forward to each of us to discuss more on what has been noticed from Luis, whether it's academic or behavior. I'll go ahead and start. Now, as an administrator, I don't have many chances of seeing Luis during class, but on the few opportunities I have witnessed, I can see that he is a bright child that has trouble with the language barrier, and he needs to be told on more than one occasion, and the teacher does need to translate the instructions for him.
Yes, so personally, as Luis's general education teacher, I've observed his academic struggles and behaviors firsthand. I've noticed that he may require extra time and support to complete certain tasks, especially when it comes to reading and writing activities. But I'm here to provide input in his progress in the general education curriculum and collaborate with the team to implement accommodations and modifications to meet his learning needs.
So, as an educational diagnostician, my job here is to conduct formal assessments on students who may be struggling and then determine whether special education services are to be provided. In this case, Luis. I also work to create what is known as an IEP, which is an individualized education program, where I assess Luis's strengths and weaknesses and use that information to work with Luis's teachers and administrator to create a strategy to help Luis succeed.
As a special education teacher, I am here to learn more about Luis's behavior, to get an understanding of whether or not he may have certain needs and he needs to be in a special education unit, or if he just needs certain accommodations, and then we can see how we can address them moving forward. Do you have any questions?
Nothing comes to mind, but thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, so I like to start off by mentioning some of Luis's strengths. First and foremost, his teacher tells me that he is very sweet and respectful with a strong imagination. But although he is just filled with ideas, it appears that he's having trouble transferring that due to his underperforming writing skills. So our annual goal for him would be to have him be able to create his own story using his imagination, and we hope to get him there by establishing a short-term objective where he must be able to identify the beginning, middle, and end of a story. As for reading, it appears that he is reading at a kinder through first grade level and has to sound out every word as he goes, as you mentioned earlier, Ms. Rodriguez. So, to help him with his reading and reach his expected grade level, his teacher will provide him with simple passages that contain CVC words with a minimum of 50 words per minute, and thereafter we hope to see his reading become more fluent. As for the subject in math, our goal is for Luis to be able to recognize fractional units and understand that they are used to name parts as a whole. His teacher will help achieve this goal by guiding him with an activity known as a fraction pizza, and will divide it into equal parts and use simple fractions to correspond with the size of the pizza, matching it with 95% accuracy over 4 trials. Overall, our goal here is for Luis to be on grade level with all 3 subjects by the end of the year.
Thank you, Ms. Barrera. So based on what Ms. Barrera just went over, being that he is just a little behind with these subjects, I personally would not recommend having Luis in the special education unit. However, he will receive some special education services in the general classroom setting. for the entire school day. He will also have access to non-academic classes and extracurricular activities. Additionally, we will monitor his progress using informal measures such as teacher observations and parent interviews. If for whatever reason Luis's academic level is not improving, then we will have to have another ARD meeting and look into what else we can do to help him. For now, we will have certain accommodations for him in the general classroom settings. Okay, any questions?
Yes. What kind of accommodations will Luis have in the classroom?
So for now, we'll give him accommodations for reading because reading is essential and coincides with the other two subjects. We will focus on the reading accommodations first. He will have a one-on-one with him during assessment so that they can help him read whatever it is he's having trouble with. As for the other two subjects, we'll go ahead and play it by ear, and Miss Segovia will keep us updated on his progress. If he still is not improving, then we will make additional accommodations for the other two subjects, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other question?
At the moment, I don't have any questions, but thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Go ahead, Ms. Barrera.
Okay. So after reviewing Luisa's strengths and weaknesses, we believe that he can continue to grow and succeed in his general education class as he's done thus far, and we will be sure to follow this progress closely and know if there should at any point be an intervention.
Yes, as for Luis being able to participate in assessments, we concluded that he is able to participate in statewide and district assessments. His progress will be documented using informal measures such as teacher observation, parent interviews, and student interviews throughout the whole school year.
So we will update you on his progress through reports during report card nights that are scheduled with the rest of the school and during parent-teacher conferences that are scheduled between the teacher and the parent. The reports will include how many goals he has met off of his IEP and an estimation of his progress towards meeting any pending goals. Do you have any questions or concerns, Ms. Rodriguez, regarding the information that was just provided to you?
Yes, I have a question. I want to ask if it's okay if I could schedule monthly meetings with Ms. Segovia for updates on Luis's progress.
Yes, I believe that it would be possible and super helpful for us to have open communication about Luis. Additionally, these monthly meetings can provide us with a valuable opportunity to discuss any concerns or adjustments that may need to be made to support Luis's development further. Our aim is to ensure that both his academic and personal growth are progressing optimally. So, Ms. Rodriguez, please feel free to raise any questions or concerns during these sessions, and together we can work towards addressing them effectively.
Yes, I'll appreciate that. It would make me feel more assured. Thank you.
To conclude this meeting, what was discussed and agreed on is that Luis would have special services in a general education classroom. He will be participating in state and or district assessments, and he will be receiving reading accommodations. Now, this is subject to change depending on his progress, and Ms. Rodriguez will be updated during regular report card nights and the monthly meetings that have been scheduled. Does anyone have any questions or concerns?
No.
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 All right. So before we conclude, I do want to express my gratitude to each of you for your invaluable input and collaboration throughout this ARD meeting. Your dedication to ensuring the best possible education experience for Luis is truly commendable. Now, as we wrap up, I do kindly ask that everyone take a moment to electronically sign the Individualized Education Program, or the IEP plan form that was distributed earlier today. Your signatures signify our collective commitment to implementing the strategies and accommodations outlined in the plan. Once all signatures are received, we will proceed with the necessary steps to set our goals into motion. Again, thank you all for your time, contributions, and unwavering support. I hope you guys have a great day.
Thank
Thank you so
you. Have a
much.
good
Thank you.
day.